Well, everybody, here we are, back with 6 blocks apart. My God, so much has happened since we did this last, and I've even forgotten how to use the iPad. But it's great to see everybody.
A question came in for you, Tim, and I'm not joking. It's right here. Tim, how long have you been playing the keyboards, piano, and were you classically trained?
I heard that Rick Springfield was looking for a keyboard player, and I spent a week going through and trying to pick up the basics. And
liar, pants on fire.
And here I am.
Okay, say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
But I've been playing in bands since I was 16.
Tim, as a kid, were you intrigued watching and with people play the piano and keyboards? Was it as a little kid, do you remember like totally being intrigued with that?
No, actually my upbringing musically was really odd because my dad's mom taught piano and violin. And so my dad would come home every day and have to listen to that stuff. So he actually kind of hated music. He didn't like popular music at all. The only songs that he liked, he liked Mrs. Robinson, Simon and Garfunkel. And that was pretty much it. He liked the
he liked the big. He
liked the big bopper. Hey baby, and he liked the big band stuff from back in the 40s. So that's what he liked. So he didn't listen to popular music at all when I was a kid. So the only reason I learned piano is my mom and my other grandmother also played piano. And so I was forced to take piano lessons, but I didn't hear popular music until I started getting driven to school in junior high. And that was right when Saturday Night Fever came out. So they were playing Saturday Night Fever and all the disco stuff. So that was my first exposure.
I can't even relate to
that. Was my first exposure to popular music. So
you can't relate to Saturday Night Fever?
No, I can't relate to the fact that he didn't hear music
because her parents.
My parents. That's all. I literally, I think since the moment I was born, that's all I heard was music.
Well, my age, we had to, as little kids, sit and watch Lawrence Welk on
Saturday. Oh, me too. Yeah.
Yep. My parents listened to country and western.
My mom did too. Yeah.
And that is why
Tammy Wynette.
Now I hate it. I mean, I like kind of the newer stuff.
My exposure to popular music was so limited that the movie Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band that came out, which had the Peter Frampton in it and the Bee Gees doing some stuff. Peter Frampton in it. Anyway,
and Bee Gees,
the movie failed. It wasn't very. It didn't go over particularly. But so the first time I heard those songs, the Beatles songs, was from that movie. I didn't know the Beatles Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band songs ahead of time. And I've told several musicians this, including Rick Springfield, and all of them, including Rick, has said, you should never, ever tell anybody that ever.
So I will cut this out.
Because it just sounds horrible.
It does.
But the first time I ever heard Bang Bang Maxwell's Silver Hammer, it was Steve Martin singing it on
No, you're kidding.
Wow.
Come Together, Aerosmith.
Tristan, what did you have growing up? Did you have American music?
Wow.
Yeah, the Beatles.
I basically grew up with Bill Haley and Rock Around the Clock.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But also the Beatles.
The Beatles. I can remember the first time I ever heard the Beatles. It was on a Saturday morning, and it was about 1962, I guess. And this guy came on and said, hey, I got this album, this record here. Man, a whole lot of guys that run around in leather suits. Hey, check it out. Boom. He had no idea. And it was, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Oh, no, it was Love Me Do.
That was the first. That was the first hit. Yeah, that was the first.
And I thought, you know what? That's really different.
Right.
But over there at the time, different didn't necessarily mean good. So everybody was kind of, the people that I spoke to, I said, hey, check this out. Oh, yeah, but Elvis is still king. Elvis sucks. What are you talking about?
Elvis was over there.
I never got into it. I couldn't do it. I tried, never could get into it. I respected him for what he was, a great artist, had a great voice. But, you know, that was about as far as it went.
You were put off by all the hip thrusting, probably. It's just not acceptable. It's not acceptable in Australia.
Hey, we had a whole different thing. You couldn't get really good soul music back there. No, when I left and came over to England in '68, I was exposed to a whole new line of American soul that you couldn't get back in Australia.
Like what? Like what?
A lot of the stuff by the Temps you couldn't get back
Temptations?
there. Yeah.
Oh, love them.
And names I can't think of at the moment.
Four Tops? Spinners?
No, we got a lot of their stuff. Yeah. Spinners, we couldn't get at all.
My favorite.
And, you know, the interesting thing was the first concert I ever went to in Melbourne was Ricky Nelson.
Really?
Yeah, he came out there.
You know his son.
You know, I used to watch the show, and I said, you know, I really like to go and see that. So my mother got me tickets for it. And it was, the interesting thing about it was that, you know, about a quarter of the way into the set, he broke a guitar string. I don't think he even noticed.
Oh, really?
That's because his eyes were closed.
He was, yeah.
But that was my first experience to that. And I thought, wow, this is really cool.
How old were you?
They had a couple of Australian artists on there too. A local band called the Crescents and another guy called Johnny Devlin and the Devils.
That's a good name.
And these were, you know, local glam.
Were they Australian? Were there Australian groups? Did you say there were Australian groups?
The Johnny Devlin and the Australians.
They were glam rockers, you know. Bang.
Glam rockers? I thought glam rock was the 80s.
No, these guys were all dressed
up. They were way ahead of their time, Teresa.
Glam rock was.
These guys were all dressed in, you know.
David Bowie, right.
Glam rock was like the makeup and the dyed hair.
No. This was like guys that dressed up that looking like Liberace's plumber, you know.
Okay, that's not glamish.
Wait, you had that in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Hey, I went to see the Beatles live. What a mess that was.
Why?
Firstly, they were terrible.
The distance about this big, first of all, probably.
I mean, a buddy of mine, he was older than me, had a car, bang, he said, come on, let's go and follow them.
And where?
So they had this route all worked out from the airport. And
where?
There was like
where were you?
Hundreds of thousands of kids there.
Obviously,
so we drove all the way into town. And it was a mess there. So I said, look, let's just park the car here, which was in the middle of the road. I said, let's just get out, lock it, forget it. Otherwise, no one's going to take it because nobody can move anyway. So we got out and just parked it in the middle of the road and went up to this hotel, which is no longer there. It was called the Continental. And they were in it. They had one entire floor. And then they came out and then John Lennon did that infamous salute to Hitler, which just didn't go down. He went like this.
Yeah, I do.
Media jumped all over it.
But who would know that people don't like that? I mean, really.
This is the one with Tristan. Beatles.
The video that they made a video of it, 6 VHS videos from the beginning until everything. And then they had a because it was the greatest in terms of fan turnout that they'd ever had, they showed a section of them playing at what was called Festival Hall then. I'm actually at that original meeting, that get together. I was sitting off to the side and yeah, you won't see me, but I was actually in that video.
I guess my question is,
thank you.
Of all the boring stories you told me, how come you haven't told me this interesting one?
I was saving it.
Chewing.
I'm chewing
Just,
too.
what I'm going to say is going to be good. Just wait. It's going to be good.
I'm bracing myself. Yeah.
I chewed through the whole thing. So,
So Tristan, I made a joke before about you were telling boring stories, but not this interesting one. But regarding that, so first of all, what's the time period and where were you? Is this in the United States or Australia with the Hitler?
Australia.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. So, wow.
That was a question.
so the Beatles.
Well, no, I didn't understand.
I think they went out there in 1962. I know that the night that they were there so well, you couldn't hear yourself think.
Well, that's what
it was a mess.
I remember seeing the
girls.
I remember seeing the video. I think from I think it was Candlestick Park, the last show they did, and the PA was not built to overpower 40,000 people screaming. No. And right. So when they would try to talk in between songs, they realized they couldn't hear themselves. So have you seen that where John Lennon just goes, our next song we're gonna play, and he just starts going like that because and then Paul looks at him and they're looking at each other and they just start making nonsense because they realize that literally nobody can hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a much smaller scale, I do that occasionally on a Rick Springfield gig where if the smoke machine gets blown out too much and I can't see the audience, so I'm trying to look like I'm having a good time. And then once I can't see the audience, I just go, okay, I'm just going to wait until the fog lifts. Because if I can't see them, they can't see me. So what's the point of me jumping around? But
Tim, I love the video you sent from playing the keyboard from I guess you put your phone down.
On New Year's Eve?
Oh, on New Year's Eve. Yeah, that was funny. How did you all become friends? Obviously, you knew each other before the connection to Rick Springfield / General Hospital. I love watching all of your adventures. I feel like I personally know you all and your friends and family without ever meeting you. You are also down to earth and real. Thank you, Kelly Rose. So, Teresa, how did we all become friends?
I met Garrick and Tony several years ago, many years ago.
Actually,
through Judith.
Up on 10.
Yes.
Through Judith?
Through Judith Chapman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but it was actually Bobby Eakes' show and Cassie DePava and I forgot the other girl, Kathy somebody or other. I'm sorry that I don't remember her last name, but they were doing a Divas of Palm Springs show.
A daytime, Divas of Daytime.
Divas of Daytime, and it was at the Palm Springs
Theater or Annenberg?
Yeah, theater. And so before then, Amanda and I met Judith across the street at Copley's.
Renee, it was you and Renee.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Renee and I met Judith at Copley's for a cocktail. We had met Garrick before, but briefly, but we really got into a conversation. We really liked each other that night. And we were having a white trash party several days later. And I was like, you guys have to come to this. And we've just been great friends since.
So how long were you doing the white trash parties?
I think it was our second at that point, Mm-hmm. And then Melissa, I met you through Bobby Eakes. Yes. No? Where did I meet you?
Through Desi.
Oh, okay. So Melissa, I met you when you were doing the charity event at Smoke and Burgers for Desi. And I had seen it online on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And I saw the story and it just really grabbed me in my heart.
And she took over the whole auction and she made the whole, if I didn't have her, I don't know what I would have done. I had the whole auction because of you.
Thank you. But I did it because I saw the beautiful story about Desi, and I was like, I just got on the phone and I called everybody I knew. I'm like, what can you donate? And yes, I came to Smoke and Burgers and I met you that night and I said, hey, hi, I don't know you, but here's a bunch of stuff that
it was so fun because not only that, you forgot also, you ended up bringing, oh my God, obviously you brought your husband and that was crazy. And I think you brought Sean and Michelle.
I think I did, yes. Yeah. I did Sean and Michelle, Kanan.
Right. So and then after that, I met Bobby.
But this is the thing. This is the thing, everybody. I grew up, my very first real novel that I read was V.C. Andrews. And every time a book came out, I was right there buying that book. I couldn't wait till the next one came out. So then I found out her father, was the ghostwriter for V.C. Andrews. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then Melissa had watched Tristan on GH and
my mom, it was like, that was like the craziest thing. I mean, he was huge in my life. Yeah. But beyond all the celebrity shit, for me, meeting you was like instant friendship. I mean, you said, let's go get a drink. And it was, and we're both very shy. We're shy inside. People don't believe that about both of us, but we are.
And for me, it's, I had known Teresa for many, many years. And of course, when I had the trauma with Tony, she was right there. I had met Melissa
right before that.
Socialized, but we hadn't really become close friends.
No, but we were all together for the last dinner at Smoke and Burgers.
Right. Yes. And then Teresa or Melissa, I was shocked. It was like the next morning at the hospital, here's Melissa and Kim early in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, wow. And it touches you because, you were there all the time and you would bring Rebecca because she didn't drive. But
it was a surprise for me because you didn't really know me.
Yeah. And but from that moment on, and then I got to know Tim and
Tim.
You're all just like real. So the gal that asked the question, she hit the nail on the head.
I know, she is a good question for us.
And
we're all very close. Yeah.
So yes, thank you, Kelly Rose. We are literally, this is our bubble, and we have a few that aren't on here, obviously, but
yes,
we love and appreciate and cherish this bubble.
Absolutely.